Exactly. It's like, yeah, like I'd love to just spread my legs behind my ears and him to smash a guitar between my bollocks. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, fuck.
That's my favorite thing I've ever said. Where I first cream dreamed my pantaloonies and I just went, oh fucking bottom, I looks like I've made a mess of myself.
Oh, for fuck's sake. But yeah, like
Welcome to episode 6, season 2 of Press and A Button to Continue. My name is Keith, the man who wants his head in a vice grip between Chun-Li's thighs. And I'm joined by my co-host Nisha, who screams, hello stranger, what are you buying? Just to lure that handsome Leon into a dark alleyway, if you catch my drift. That's right, today we'll be discussing those video game characters that made us pitch tents when we weren't even camping. The strong silent type, the brooding dark and seductive, or the flamboyant sassy competent archetype. The erotic choice of fantasy was yours for the picking, and let me tell you, two young boys in old Catholic Ireland, you better believe we fell in love or lust with just a few of these characters growing up. That's right, today is our top 10 video game crushes.
man, the pitch of tents are not even Oh, I wasn't expecting that. That was good, man. That was good.
I don't even know where that came from.
And that was very good, man. That was very good.
Thank you. I'm glad we keep these a secret, to get your natural reaction
Yeah.
every time we do them.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. How are you? How are you doing today, Keith?
I am doing well. I am feeling a little bit aroused. I got
already
a full-on priapism, they call it, an erection that never leaves. And making this list, there is a couple of your top 10 video game crushes. Let's just be honest. I made some fun choices, some real choices. There's there's one or two that might make you question who you're talking to, but. But I think it's going to be good, and I think people are excited for this. We've asked people both on Discord and Instagram to share some of their points, which we'll get to towards the end as well. And I think, like, in terms of responses, it just goes to show, people are horny, full stop, and they love a top 10. So I think if you put in something that's a little bit frisky and has just a tier list to it, people go crazy for it.
I thought it was so funny, man, when I posted the question on Instagram, who's your favorite video game crush? And I posted it just before I went to bed, and I woke up the next day and I saw all the responses and was like, "You fucking, this is brilliant! This is brilliant,
smutty bastards!"
And I had like private messages from people and all that.
As well,
so
someone
funny,
was just
so
like
funny.
connoisseur. It's like, actually, technically, Claire is better than Jill because of her round, bodacious bottom. If we actually look at the dimensions of her ass, and there's definitely that kind of shit going on too.
Taking it very serious.
It deserves to be taken serious.
True. Well, that's true. Like, people think about the amount of time that the creators of these video games put into making these characters.
Oh, and
should be taken serious, man.
The developers know what they're fucking doing. I can't tell you how many times I've streamed a game and I'm like, who the fuck is this? Who the fuck is this elf creature with ears who has like size fucking 39 double Zs and fucking like hips that could store 19 children, but then also a waist that's like fucking a pick. Like, I mean, what are they up to? Creating unrealistic expectations for young impressionable little lads like us. And also, you're always behind the video game character. You know what I mean? You have to look at the butt, so they have to, I suppose, put some effort into it.
That's actually a really good point. The camera's always behind. But come here, before we get stuck into this, right? I just wanted to mention from the last episode we did, our very first guest episode, the first one that we did twice.
The first one we did twice.
Thanks again to Mary Majora for coming on. And I noticed the other day that she celebrated 5 years on Twitch and 5 years of streaming, which is really cool. So.
Woo!
Congratulations to her, and thanks again to her, because it was a really fun conversation and had a great response from people saying they really enjoyed it. And do you know what I was watching? She was streaming doing the 5-year celebration, man. And I don't think I'd said this to you, actually. So I was watching the stream and she was showing early videos. And it was cool to see like the development from, like, she had like no background to, then she had a bookcase, then she had a room, and it just in relation to you and how you've upgraded your stream room and your setup, and it's cool to see that natural progression and the natural kind of growth and adding few bits and bobs here. And like I love doing it with like adding the Focusrite audio interface and adding the mic and stuff. It's just cool to see that natural progression of creators, and you know what I mean?
It is, and I think it also comes into how you create, not just the equipment you're using. Do you know what I mean? It's how you
Oh yeah.
discuss, and it's how like it's interesting to, listen back to the first episode, because I mean this is episode 16, technically 17,
Yeah,
because
true.
of the re-recorded episode,
And
and
Jesus, you listen to my audio in the first episode, man.
dude, even
I'll
it's funny
never be
because
able to let it
it's like
go.
it's like.
But you know what it is? It's the intro, which is funny, but like you're saying something, then all I can hear now, sound warning. All I can hear is me going, gyro.
Oh my god, my ears! You
So-
said sound warning to the audience. You still absolutely blew out my
I'm
eardrums, you
sorry.
fuck.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It was too loud. I'll cut it out.
No, don't
In case
cut it
like
out.
someone's fucking listening.
You just gotta edit it down, man. You just gotta edit it down. Anisha's thing is like, nah, man. If I have to edit it, just cut it out. Cut the episode.
But yeah, the audio in the first episode, man.
Do you know what I've
it
noticed? I was even
plagues me.
listening to the Ocarina of Time episode via the clip I made, and
cool.
even then I thought your next microphone was actually like perfect, but it turns out now when I listen back to that one, that's also sounds shit in comparison to this too.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
Like
isn't
it's a big leap from the first one.
It is.
But then it's only the fact I'm used to hearing you the way I'm hearing you now.
Yeah. I think I've been
Um,
using this one since episode 8 of season 1. I think
mhm.
was the first one, and I thought the second mic was great as well. And then when I listen back, I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake! But again, it's a natural growth. You start off small. We were figuring out the podcast. Did we like it? Did we grow?
You start off small and you stay small.
Yeah. But at least we're getting some good gear to go with it. You know what I mean?
Exactly, Matt. No, we're pumping in the money. I mean, we're going down and down. We're pumping it in.
For fuck's sake!
Only joking.
But
It's
it
been-
was.
It's been majestic and it's been a pleasure. And
Yes, it has
long,
been, man.
long
It
may
has.
it rain and long may it live.
Oh, it will. It will.
Actually, in order to long may it rain and long may it live, you know what? We have a little bit of a challenge for the audience, for maybe some of the lurkers, as we like to call them. We
Yeah.
are currently on 75 5-star ratings, which is fucking amazing. Thank you so much,
it's
by the
very
way.
cool.
Thank you for supporting our dream of doing this. We're hoping to get to 100. We want to see them 3 figures. We want to
Yeah.
pump that energy. We
How
want to
cool
push it
that'd
on in there. And we would
Mhm.
love, if you enjoy this space and you find this a fun space to come to and get some levity and distraction from your week, we would love to try and see this keep growing and make it a feasible thing to keep rocking and rolling and keep the Nisha and Keith banter
Yeah.
of horny video game characters going strong.
So yeah, go on to Spotify. If you listen on Spotify, and please rate the podcast 5 stars if you enjoy it.
Well,
And
if you
on
don't,
Apple-
obviously, if you don't enjoy it, by the way, don't fucking rate it 5 stars.
Yeah. Just-
We're not forcing.
alright.
If you
It's
like it
alright.
though, and you have it,
that's what I was saying. If you like it,
Yeah,
and on
yeah.
Apple as well, you can actually leave a little review on Apple.
You can.
which is pretty cool. So yeah, just to plug that, please, and also
Please, please.
if you know someone who you think might enjoy the podcast, tell them about it. Share it with them, because that's
Share
the
it
best
like an
kind of-
STD, like a venereal
Fuck's
disease. Get it from one person, from your mom to your dad, your cousins. Get them all on in there, lads. Slap them on in. Let that shit spread amongst the community, and let it take you all down one by one.
Yeah, what he said.
Oh, beautiful.
That's the plugging out of the way there. Thanks again, Mary, for joining, and if you listen and like it, please rate it 5 stars on Spotify. I'm trying to bring it around, man.
It's funny because you sound. I think when you're doing something like this, you sound almost so sad when you're saying. You're like, you sound like.
I'm not
"Please
sad.
rate-" It's just. I feel like the gusto behind asking. It's like, please rate it 5 stars. If you could please come over to my house, I'd take it. Anyway, whatever.
Right.
Who knows what makes this podcast? But anyway, right. Should we get into the main attraction and the main event, since
Yes,
we have
yes.
we've done our Oliver twist for Please Sir, Can I Have Some More?
Oh yeah, very good. I like that.
I see. I bring it back. See, you bring it
Yeah.
back around. You try and get information across. I bring a bit of lightness to it, related to
Yeah.
a sexually transmitted disease, and then you
Look,
bring
it's
it
a good
back in.
combination.
It's
a good
the
combination.
dream work, the teamwork.
Fuck's sake. Right, top 10 video game crushes. Video game character.
Which can I
Mhm.
say, was only a title. We wanted a way, we wanted a more of a top 10 video crushes is top 10 video game crushes is something at least we can type on Spotify. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's something
It's not like
that
top 10 video game characters I'd love to fuck.
because you write that though as an episode, like
I feel like, I don't know, I'd feel
you
like
get
you'd
in
probably
trouble.
get the old shadow band or something,
But
if you
see,
started.
here's the thing, right? When some of these are like stories from when I was a kid playing video games, I didn't know
Oh,
what
okay. So we need
fucking was, and
we
you
need
know
a
what I mean.
disclaimer, is it?
I was just no, I was
What?
just
Sorry.
like fancied them. I didn't know.
Oh,
I was like,
I thought you were gonna say some of these were games I played as a kid when I was a kid, and the kid, like the character,
oh, staying away from that kid. Fuck me. No.
Sorry, man. I mean, you were 10, I was 10. We all had crushes growing up, man. What are you talking about?
Very true. But do you want to go first, or will I go first?
Oh
I know
man,
this
I
isn't the
am.
niche show now.
Oh no, you go first. It is. I want it to be a bit of the niche show. Let's go.
Will we do honorable mentions first or
I
after?
don't have honorable mentions.
Right.
What I was going to do is I was going to use the people's choices as the honorable mentions
Okay.
in an aspect of it, because I feel like I could be there a long time otherwise. You saw how our last top 10 went, man. We never moved from 10 for like 40 minutes.
Oh
So,
yeah, we did. Well, I have 3 honorable mentions. Will I
oh,
say them
I want to
later?
hear them. No, say them
Uh,
now.
right. One of them is Midna or Minda from Twilight Princess. You know, the kind of green and dark.
Yeah, the little imp furry monster that you want
Yes.
to.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, no, that's.
Look at man.
I know.
Have you ever played
No, by
Dragon
the way, hang on. By the way, right? She, like, we all know, like, spoilers for a hot second here. Like,
for Twilight
Midna
Princess?
at the end of Twilight Princess becomes that's all I'd say.
That's who I'm referring to anyway.
Yeah, no, I'm actually
Um,
kind of into both. I'm going to be
yeah,
honest.
well, yeah, look. Have you played Dragon Age Origins? Now, I know this isn't retro. I know I'm kind of cheating here, but have you played Dragon Age Origins on the PS3?
No,
That's a fucking great game, man. It's a
I
really good
have
game.
heard of people talk about it a
Um,
lot. Yeah,
it's actually what converted me from Xbox 360 to the PS3.
I think it's on 360 as well, though, right?
I had an Xbox 360 at the time, right? And I wanted a PS3 for the Blu-ray player. Oh,
Yeah,
and I was like, I love my Xbox 360. I'm never gonna go to PS3. I just want to get a Blu-ray player. So
Mm-hmm.
I got one for Christmas, and I got some a free Blu-rays and a free
So, what
game.
PS3 did you get?
Not the one you're looking for.
Oh my god,
It's
like
the one you're looking for.
Fat Boy,
Yeah, with
Fat
four
Boy,
ports
four ports, Fat
for if
Boy.
anyone has one of them.
Help a brother out. Okay, so what is your 10? Dragon Age? It's a
Sorry, right.
dragon.
Right, sorry, I was getting sidelined with how I got from Xbox to 360 but that doesn't matter. We'll get back to that. So my honorable mentions are there's a girl called Morgan in Dragon Age Origins, which I fancied an awful lot.
Jeez, with a
And
name like Mardigan.
yeah, and then the last one who I think is like possibly one of the fucking hottest characters, but just didn't make my top 10 list is Geralt of Riviera, or is it
Oh yeah,
Riviera? Because
yeah.
that dude
Geralt of Rivia.
that bat scene, man, in The Witcher.
Oh,
Fuck me, man.
he's a beast of beasts. Like, I
Yeah,
think,
he is.
like, it's just the way he goes, like, "What are you doing?" He's kind of like Batman. He's a
Yeah,
Batman voice,
yeah, yeah.
But he's like, but he's a Witcher, and he's got those like cat eyes, and he's
Mm,
got that like long, luscious white
blonde hair.
hair, and that
Oh, right,
big
yeah.
chest, and that long schlong dong silver hanging out of a bath on a bubbly evening.
Oh,
Oh,
so
oh.
they're my honorable
Have you
mentions anyway.
played Witcher 3?
Yeah, man, I played like 10 hours of it twice. I played the first 10 hours of it
It
twice,
took me 3
and
times to get into it,
yeah, oh,
and I
jeez, I might
loved
have
it
to give
then.
it a go again. I might
I
have to give it a go.
loved it then.
You know, man, it seemed too big for me at the time.
Mm. You
Same
need.
thing happened with Red Dead Redemption 2. I was like,
Hmm.
it's just too much. It's too fucking much.
Red Dead 2 has that issue of like the tapping X to go somewhere for it. Like, you see, it depends, right? Here the problem is, right? If you're only coming home from work and you have like an hour or two to play something, it's
Hmm.
very hard, I think, to involve yourself in that. But if you had a
Yeah.
week off and you had 8 hours in a day and you did those whole 8 hours of playing the one game, I think you'd like those games like demand like a huge amount of attention that as you get
Mhm.
older is hard to
Yeah.
afford them, do you know?
Right, so I'm gonna start off with my number 10, yeah? And my number 10 video game crush was you don't know.
I don't know. I'm so fucking horny.
Keith doesn't know mine. I don't know Keith's just so people know. So my number 10 is Princess Peach from Super Mario Bros.
Oh, you awful simp, you.
Yeah, I know I am a fucking simp. Yeah.
She's in another castle. She'll only give you cake, lad.
I just remember when I was a kid, fucking playing through Super Mario at fucking 64 and the letters, and just look, man, it's a young man's thing.
Dude, please now.
Young person's thing.
I'm
I just
sorry
had
to
a crush.
interrupt. There's no preface. I don't want to hear any excuses.
Yeah.
Like this is
All right.
there's no fucking kink shaming here. I'm only ripping the piss. This is how this goes. I want you to be like deeply in lust with Peach, and I want to hear
I
the
wasn't.
passion and
This
glory
isn't.
for
I'm
it.
gonna tell you who I wanted to fuck. Right? It wasn't that. I just had a
Hit me.
nice crush on her. No,
Oh
later on
yeah,
my
it's
list.
coming.
Later on
Okay.
my
So
list.
it's starting
Yeah.
with the
Oh, it's
crush, and then it
coming.
turns into lust. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I know it's coming. All right. Okay. So number 10. Number 10 is
Yeah.
Princess Peach Toadstool. Okay, so like
Yeah.
tell me a little
Mhm.
bit about her. I wanna hear a
To
little
be
bit.
honest, man, that's really it. Like, I just had a bit of a crush on her. I'm starting it off light. I'm starting it off easy. Nothing too extreme. Just, she was like the first kind of female character that, like, from a video game that I kind of noticed. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So, yeah,
Something that
that's about
like
it, man.
quarter chub kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll go quarter cube. Fuck's sake. So that's my number 10.
Okay, so my number 10, I was thinking about the Resident Evil ladies, right? And I was going through it. I was like, Jill or Claire? I was like, Claire or Jill?
Mhm.
And I said to myself, none of them. I'll tell you what, who's the real queen is Ada goddamn Wong, baby. And I have in my cliff notes, I don't want to be right when I could be this Wong.
I love how much you're cracking yourself up with that
Oh
joke.
fuck. Oh,
Oh
I was
man.
like, that's such a perfect. It's such a perfect. Oh, I love when a
Yeah.
name just lends itself to that. And I was just no, because the one I was thinking of is in Resident Evil 4 when she's got the red dress
Yes.
and she's got the
Yes.
slit all the way up,
Mhm,
and then she does
mhm.
the kick to kick a
Yeah.
gun, and she has like the gun holster around her leg. Because I'm a leg guy, right? Like really,
Right.
truly, legs is going to play a huge theme in my list.
Okay.
Almost like daddy. Do you know,
Yeah.
daddy,
Yeah.
daddy,
No, yeah.
sorry, daddy,
Yeah.
mommy,
And
and
what about in
she
the movie when what's her name, Mila Jovovich, has the same dress on? Is that like paying homage to Ada Wong?
It might be.
I think.
I'm not sure because I'm not sure. Is that the first movie where she's on the
Yeah, I'm
cover and
fairly
she's
sure
wearing
it's
the
the
dress?
first. I'm
I
fairly
don't know
sure
if
it's
the
the first.
first movie came out before Resident Evil 4 though.
Ah.
I'm not sure, but Ada for sure was like, and particularly in that game, like there's later games and remakes. I think in Resi 2 she's in a remake. Like she just looks like a different person. It's the same way Leon looks like a different person and stuff,
Right. Right.
But there was definitely, I don't know why, thigh highs, legs, the whole thing for me. She used a lot of legs. Do you know what
Yeah.
I mean? And the dress was there, and like there was a bit of mystery. It almost looked like we were going to see everything, but no. And she was a little bit of a she showed Leon. Also, she's a dommy mommy. Like she was like,
What's a dummy mummy?
Dommy mommy is like a dominatrix kind of style one, like, do you know what I mean?
Right.
She was into the like Leon, like, you better keep up, Leon, you stupid bitch, like whipping him and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like crawl on all fours, Leon. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll stand on you with my heels type stuff. So
Mhm.
I think that really was the I think Ada really did that. Like Jill, Claire, very
Yeah.
great crushes in their own right. I think they
Mhm.
deserve all the time of day. But let's be honest, Ada Wong, all day, every day.
Yeah, good choice, man. I like it. I like it. I'd say I'd say Ada Wong is she's kind of notorious for being a huge video game crush amongst gamers, isn't she?
I feel like she's probably a little bit overshadowed by Jill and Claire because you play as Jill and Claire. Like there is a
Right.
section in Resident Evil 4 you can play as Ada. She has her own DLC.
All right.
Have you played that?
Resident Evil 4.
Yeah. No, have you
Fuck.
played? Sorry, no. Have you played the Ada
No,
Wong
no, I
DLC
haven't.
for it?
No,
It's
no,
not DLC. It's on the PlayStation one, I think, specifically
All
the
right.
PS2 copy. There's a whole campaign with her.
I played through the recent playthrough I did was on the GameCube.
At least I think that was a PlayStation 2 thing. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's
Check out.
worthwhile playing. You like the game so much, I think it's
Oh
worth
yeah,
it.
absolutely. It's fucking one of the best games ever.
Ever.
I think one of our other episodes in this season is going to be fucking Resident Evil. So
Spicy.
that says it all. Okay, so my number 9 is a
Number 9.
bit of a weird one. It's Natalia from GoldenEye 007 on the N64.
Oh my god.
Like
Oh
I
my
remember
God.
watching the movie and liking the actor plays Natalia, and then just playing through the game, I was like, I think I love her.
You were like,
think I love her.
those four boxes with the picture of a face plastered on the front of it is doing something, man. You only need like it goes to the testament of how fucking randy old teenagers would be, man. All it takes is two boxes on a screen and you could be like, this is peak sexual desire.
Yeah.
And like, were you kind of pining over her a little bit? Was it like
Think so.
she was annoying as fuck in the game though.
Did you kill her all the time in the game?
Like
Did
she
you
kept
shoot her?
fucking walking in front of me. She was like fucking like, oh hi, like fucking like blasted away. I was like,
You
and I
played
kept
through it recently, did you?
like only a few weeks ago for the first
Yeah.
time. So
What
it's
did you
very
think?
fresh. I love the game. I
It
love
was
the
your
game.
first time playing
My first time
GoldenEye.
playing GoldenEye,
Deadly.
and I finished it, and I loved it. And
Yeah.
it played really well on the Xbox because the two analog sticks. On the N64, obviously you got the
Cool.
C buttons thing, but
Mhm.
just like felt very modern with the slight auto
Nice.
aim. So good. Some of the objectives and the missions were pretty like fucking annoying. Do you know, sometimes like again, Natalia like fucking runs off in a corner and dies, and you have to start again, kind of escort mission bullshit. But yeah, I think yeah, I really, really, really liked it. I was like thought it was
Nice.
fantastic for playing it in 2023. Like it felt very current to me. Didn't look very
Cool.
current, but it felt very current. Do you know?
Yeah. No, I get it. So yeah, that's my number 9. Again, I'm kind of easing into it. There's not like these were just like, you know, I had a crush. That was
I think
it.
my list is all over the place.
All right, man. That's all right.
So no, wait, hang on, I gotta do this. Number 9. My number 9. It could be higher, but like my thing is right. I'm a type of person who like gets very much so attracted to personality as well. So it's like even in the video game characters, like, do you know the way like you could see the most beautiful person in the world, but the second they open their mouth, you're like, oh my god, absolutely, like fucking goes from a 10 to a 0. Do you know what I mean? Like it depends what shite comes out of their mouth, like, or what fucking shite they believe in, right? So it's like, you know, so like, you know, when you're on a trail with the video game character, obviously, you know, the way they look and the way the developers designed them is always nice, but you know, sometimes the personality will change where they are on the list too. Do you know what I mean? I'm not that shallow. You know what I mean? I'm taking in the whole fake character.
Right, yeah.
The whole
The not real
imaginary thing.
person.
Yeah, the not real person. I'm taking it all in. So my number 9 was Tifa.
Hold on.
Final.
Sorry, I'm gonna Google Tifa while you're talking so I can picture so I can see the person.
Do you not know who this is?
Hold on. Final Fantasy
Nisha,
7
I was
Tifa.
about to kick you in the balls there, Nisha.
I'm
the
literally
game you're 40 hours into and currently are playing.
Yeah. I have Tifa in my party and everything. Oh, yeah, no, I get you, man. Even on the PS1 graphics, I'm digging that.
Well, wait till you play the remake. You won't be able to play it. It's like we're talking, Jesus, Nelly Furtado. I'm like a bird, I only fly away. Fucking, I don't even know how to talk about it respectfully, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm talking like, I'll just describe what they're wearing. They wear a belt for a skirt, and they got a top on, and we just need an old break, Rooney.
It's all right. I'm currently playing through Final Fantasy 7 for the first time ever, man. First time ever. I'm just giving you a bit of breathing room there to calm down. And I'm almost at the end of disc 2, I think, and I'm loving it, man. What a fucking game! Now I know you've played the remake, yeah.
So I've only technically played like the first disc, or not even, I'd say a third of the first disc or something.
What a fucking game, man! Like I can see now why it's held as one of the greatest video games of all time, because it is. The story to that game is so fucking good. The music, man.
The music is particularly. I think the music. I'll actually. Do you know what? Because I know you're coming. Well, hopefully coming down in a week or two. Yeah. I'll throw on the remake for you, because the music reorchestrated in the start and stuff would bring a fucking tear to any man's eye. Do you know?
Oh, I can't wait, man. I think I'm actually I'm hoping to finish the game itself on this weekend.
That'd be great. Yeah.
Oh,
we actually might just do a little playthrough of it just to show it to you. Do you know?
How long was the remake? How long did it take you to play through?
Geez, still like a good 30 hours, I'd say.
What? Yeah.
They really expanded out. So so what they've done is they've taken all the characters and fleshed them out way more.
Oh, nice.
And they've added extra scenes to make you connect with them better. Do you know, and extra kind of like missions. So that would be really, really fun.
Jelly.
What I do? Hang on, I'm going to do this for. Are we on your number 8?
Yeah.
Number 8.
So number 8 mightn't be. Well, I don't know if it's a very well known one. It's a video game character by the name of Jennifer Tate from a PS2 game called Primal. Did you ever
Oh
play
my
that? Do you ever
god,
remember that?
I do. I remember the
The box
outfit anyway. It
cover.
had like a leotard kind of
Do you
thing,
know
right?
what?
Wasn't it?
I can remember seeing that game, and
I'm
it
having a look
was.
now.
She has this really cool tattoo on her back.
Yes, she's got the
Um,
short. Oh my god, my list has to change on the fly now because I'm just thinking of new people. She has the back stamp,
the tattoo, yeah, the very cool tattoo,
and she's
and
kind of got a Wolverine vibe, kind
yeah,
of
like
gauntlets going
green
on.
magic flying around, and yeah, there was something about the green magic, the tattoo, just did it for me, man. Just did it for me.
Mm,
And I remember playing the game and being a little bit disappointed in the game. And you know what I remember first seeing that was in a video shop while renting video games.
sure. Well,
And
you were like, oh, like go straight into the wank bank. You're like, oh, she's lovely. Like, mummy, rent this for me, my mummy. I like this sexy lady with her. She's her revealing clothing, mummy.
so that was yeah, she was again.
What's her
man,
name again? Jennifer Tate.
Jennifer Tate, yeah, yeah. I actually had to. I didn't even remember. I can just remember that cover art, that picture.
Mm-hmm.
Just it's a piece of art, man. And that character kind of looking back towards you with the tattoo, and it just did something for me. I'm a fan of tattoos, and that just did
So
something
you
for me.
were. I actually have one small one here,
You
Nisha.
do,
If you'd like
man.
to have
That
a
kind
look.
of blew my mind when I went. The first time I went down to you and I saw you had that
Like,
tattoo.
I never
was
knew
like,
you were sexy, Keith.
I always knew that, man. That's fucking. I just never knew you had the tattoo.
All right. My number 8, I went into the Street Fighter catalog, right? And this was a little bit tough for me, right? Because it was
Mhm.
down between two people, right?
Yeah.
Because
I
first
know.
of all,
I fucking know who it is, man.
I know
Uh,
you know it is, but this was a tough choice because first of all you have Cammy,
Right.
okay,
Mhm.
and Cammy, who was also played by Kylie Minogue in the movie, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Kylie Minogue's also daddy. So Cammy wore the leotard thong
Mhm.
suit, right? And
Mhm.
like that was like a fucking, like, she could be hung by that thing. The thing was so fucking tight up her arsehole, right? Like that thing, I'd say people would be fucking pulling that off and sniffing it for hours, right? That
Yeah.
thing is fucking deep into the plums.
Fuck's sake.
But but I mean, I think when it boiled down to it, I had to think like, and I have this down written here. This is how my thoughts go. I have Chun-Li, Melon Crusher, thick ties save lives, right? And it came down to the strong legs, and I you
Mhm.
know, I like the idea of a woman who can kick my ass. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? And I
yeah.
think Chun-Li for sure fits that bill. Do you know what I mean? I just think Cammy with the smelly leotard thong thing, I think it could get in the way eventually of our relationship. But I think Chun-Li, do you know, I think has, you know, kind of, I think, you know, is kind of a bit more modest in some ways, do you know what I mean? But still sexy, still rocking it out in there. And you know,
Strong,
as I said,
powerful woman. Yeah.
you know, as I said, you just want your head between the thighs and crushed. You know, you want it to
Mm.
explode like a melon, and that's the last thing you want to see before you go up to the pearly gates. You know, is Chun-Li's thighs
I
and your
don't
head
think me or you
exploding.
were going to the pearly gates.
Not after this episode.
Uh,
Imagine God is up there. It's like, bring in, press any button to continue. Down to hell they go. Oh my God. The idea of God and the two of us just walking up is like, sorry, bye. It's like, do you remember what you said about that poor imaginary Chun-Li character? How you
should
wanted to be crushed by their thighs? What you said about Cammy's poor thong?
You should have the poll for this episode should be are Keith and Nisha going to hell or heaven after this episode?
I don't know how you talk about crushes and not, you know, imagine what's going to happen, right?
Yeah,
It's great
yeah.
though. This is what I love about the list though, because it'll be very, like, when you couldn't. It's great because it's like these are just like fictional characters, you know.
Yes,
I don't,
they are.
you know what I mean. You couldn't really rock like my top 10 celebrities. You know,
Nah,
it'll
'cause
be,
that's
that'll
just
be a
fucking-
different vibe.
Yeah. But you're just talking about art, man. That basically you're talking about like it's like talking about a painting that you think someone is that
I don't know
they're
how
attracted
many
to.
paintings have you wanted to fuck Nisha in your day? Oh Jesus, that fucking ink blot by Monet, boy! I tell you, I'll be up on it like a gust of wind.
Like a gust of fuck. But yeah, look at we're just fucking having a bit of fun, man. That's all it is. It's just
We
a bit of
don't
fun.
need to exonerate ourselves. We're going to hell one way or
Look at
another. We
man.
might as well go out in a burning blaze of glory.
Yeah, you're fucking dead, right?
Number 7.
My number 7 is. Are you ready for this?
No.
You're number 8. It's Chun-Li from Street Fighter. Yeah,
Whoa!
yeah.
Okay.
And it
Okay. What
came
was it about
down
Chun-Li
to
that drew her
to
to
be
you?
honest, man, obviously when I was a kid, again, I'm thinking of crushes when I was a kid playing on video games. I'm like, oh, I like that character. Oh, I like that character. You know, and you don't know what's going on. You've got one hair in your ball. You're like, or your balls, or your ball, whatever.
We've
You've
just
got
found
one
out an
hair, or whatever
interesting
your genitals
information
are.
that you are a one testicular type of man. That's fair enough.
Look at
You just have one giant ball. You fused together at a young age from the amount of fucking video game crushes you couldn't contain yourself.
And Chun-Li
That's
was
nice.
just that character.
Nice bluish hue on them. Taking them to the farmer's market.
Ginger blue. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Hang on, come back into the microphone there. Tell me what you're talking. So you were talking Chun-Li.
Right?
I
Here's where I
think
get
though, can I?
sidetracked.
Okay, yeah, tell me the sidetrack.
The animated movie.
Don't talk to me about that fucking Vega fight where everything is just ripping. Oh no, I agree. The anime is actually probably where I first cream dreamed my pantaloonies, and I just went, "Oh fucking bottom! I looks like I've made a mess of myself."
But yeah, like I remember playing it as a kid and liking Chun-Li, and then I remember just watching the animated movie and being like, "Fucking hell, what's going on?"
And she's like, "Oh hey, oh hey, oh hey, oh hey, oh hey, oh."
Oh man, I knew this was going to
Hell
be
flashing before your
I
eyes.
knew this was going to be such a giddy episode because I'm trying to be like talking about like rude things.
Oh,
and
it's so
just-
lewd.
Yeah, yeah.
Here, it's biology, man. You know what I mean? It's
True.
not a big deal.
True.
Also, I do feel like you're cheating a little bit with me because you're going back to your childhood innocence of looking at these characters. I want reflection as a grown adult man as well. I'm not going to leave you escape that easily. Do you know what I mean?
Well, like, what do you want me to be like?
I just want you
wanna
to say,
fuck
I
the
think.
shit out of someone.
No, absolutely not. I just want you to say, I
You
think
do,
Chun-Li
you
is
dirty
sexy.
bastard.
You just want to say, I think Chun-Li is sexy.
Look at man, I think the animated Chun-Li is sexy as fuck.
There, that's all I
that
wanted, man. I
animated
didn't
movie.
need to know how you want to fuck or anything. Keep that between you and your internet provider, man. Okay, I don't turn on your VPN and just like I don't need to.
So Chun-Li
That's between
is...
you and Air, man. That's
I
between
didn't
you and
say
Air.
anything,
all
man. Chun-Li is my number 7, and it was heavily inspired by the animated movie. And I'm getting kind of bending
you're
the
not,
rules.
You're not, because
but-
I actually really like that, because actually picking the character from the game, because I said Resident Evil 4 for Ada and Tifa's Final Fantasy 7 for me. But I like the way you picked the anime for that. I think that's good, because you're going back to a point in time where you were like, "Oh, something's happened." You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, God, number 7. Are you ready?
Yeah, hit me.
Shadow the Hedgehog.
Oh yeah.
Shadow the
After that
Hedgehog. I'm bringing
fucking-
him one in for my furries in town, baby, right?
Yeah.
Shadow's like coming on over. He's got chaos control. And Sonic's like, "Whoa, Shadow, what are you doing over here?" And Shadow's like, "I need your cock." And Sonic's like, "Not today, Shadow. Gotta come fast." And Shadow's like, "I need more cock." And he's like, "Don't grab my cock, Shadow." And Sonic's like, "No way. I can't believe we're in this. We're so close right now." And Shadow's like, "I've never felt like this before." And he's broody. He's got the emo power. He's got it rocking on in there.
Yeah.
Shadow is like S to the H to the A to the D to the O to the W, the W to the double me, if you know what I mean.
I like that.
And he's badass, man. You know what I mean? He's like, it's the attitude. You know what I mean? I think he appeases to my grungy emo teenager self. Do you know what I mean? He's like, he's the man. He's got that sex appeal because he doesn't give a shit about nothing. You know what I mean? He's like, and he's all about like, I need more cock. You know, and I like, we can all appreciate that in our lives.
We
I
can,
think,
absolutely. Even like that. What did I say about the fucking erotic fan fiction when I was like, it was surprisingly arousing when I didn't mean to say. I didn't mean to say it, but you know, after we released that episode and you read out the Sonic fan fiction, Ben from Lasersteak sent me a message saying he was listening to it in the car, and he said he had the windows down, he had to roll the windows up because he was laughing so much at the Sonic fan fiction that people were like looking at him. He was laughing so hard. It was so
Oh.
funny, man. Oh, so I get it. Shadow's a fucking cool motherfucker.
Do you know, the more I look at my list now, the more I feel like it's a little out of order, but obviously I'll stick with it. You know, the things
Yeah.
are popping into my head,
Yeah,
and there's a character I'll mention as one of my honorary mentions just
that's
in
all
between
right.
this
Yeah,
from
yeah,
Beyond Good and Evil 2. I'm trying to
yeah.
remember what her name is. She's got green eyes, got the whole, like, I was playing it not so long ago, and I was
Mm.
like, it's a spicy mama as well.
Spicy mama.
Are we heading on to number 6, or did you tell me you told me your number?
No,
7,
yeah,
did
number
you?
6. Yeah, this
Okay,
is number
hang on,
6
wait.
coming up.
Number 6. Ooh.
My number 6 is a character from a game that I've never played. Actually, I played the new one, but back in the day when I was a teenager, I fancied this character, even though I never played the game. But I'm fairly sure everyone fancied this character, and it's Lara Croft from Tomb Raider.
Interesting.
Like, look at man. That's all I have to say.
I mean, I think I don't have. I can.
I don't
I can
think
let
I
you.
need to elaborate on Lara
Yeah.
Croft from Tomb
But I
Raider.
mean, Laura Croft was probably one of the first video game sex symbols. Like, truly, like legitimately, like as a sex symbol, sex icon type thing. Like, whether intended or not, that's what people made her, right?
Yeah.
Because it was all about, again, it's like she's a powerful hunter woman, but she also fucking slays the haze and fucking you know walks around fucking sassy and sexy. So and it always I don't know why, but it always reminds me of Madonna. Do you know that Madonna had the I don't know, it was in the 80s, and she had those like cones on her dress. They were like the polygon fucking tattooonios. I don't know why Laura Croft always reminded me of them, the PS1 with like the cone polygon tats or whatever. But I mean, it's definitely, I mean, if you're gonna like, if there's a list of like gaming sex icons or whatever, do you know what I mean? Like, she would be obviously on the list. She's not on my list because I weirdly, the games I liked the reboots a little bit. Yeah. But the original ones I never got into, but I haven't played them since I was a kid, so I don't know.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I remember playing them in like friends' houses when I go off to friends' houses and we were playing the computer. And I never really got into them. And I did play the remake on the PS3, I think it was. I think there might have been a few remakes recently. You know, where they totally rebooted the whole series. And one where you're like on a ship. You start off on a ship, I think. And really enjoyed that game.
Yeah, I did as well.
Really, really good game.
I did as well.
Really, really good.
I really, really liked that as well. I liked the first one. The second one was pretty good too, but then I kind of fell off halfway through the second one. I think it kind of became a bit, similar to me. I guess it got a bit repetitive or whatever.
Do you remember actually there was a Lucasade Energy ad?
Yes.
Sponsored by Lucasade Energy
of
Lara Croft. That was I just remember that ad being
That's
fucking deadly. It was so cool. Yeah, I think there was like dogs chasing her or something, but that ad was just fucking class.
And the graphics were like, because the ad wasn't running on engine or whatever, like it looked like super fucking realistic.
Yeah, like, do you remember that as well though, seeing ads for games and they looked like so fucking realistic, and they'd show like the high res cutscene type stuff, and then you get the game and you're like, fuck.
Yeah, it's like not in engine stuff, and then always at the end of the ad, and like tiny around, it's like not actual gameplay.
Yeah, not actual gameplay footage.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck you showing me? So you knob gobblers. That should be false advertisement.
Yeah.
Okay, my number 6 is, again, this was tough on the list, but I had to be here. It's someone who was a witch and maybe played with the bear and a bird, and but I would purposely lose Banjo-Kazooie just to see the death cutscene where Gruntilda took Banjo's sister, put her into the machine, they fused together, and she came out in a fucking tight black number, like fucking green skin goblin-y, fucking sassy, giving you those eyes, you know what I mean? And dear Lord Jesus Christ, Gruntilda.
Yeah, look at man, Gruntilda is gonna make a reappearance on this episode, so I'm gonna save my thoughts.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair enough. It's just, I mean, man, I remember I was on stream and we were kind of doing this on stream one day, and I think maybe this is where some of the idea came from.
It was my fucking idea.
Oh, it was your idea. It was your idea. I'm sorry. It was yours. It was yours.
I said fucking Grunty.
Gruntilda. It was what I was going to say before you ate me.
I'm very
this,
passionate about
this,
sexy Gruntilda.
this, this is like the fucking Dreamcast scenario all over again. What I was going to say was,
Sorry.
we came up with the idea not for Gruntilda, but
Yeah.
for the on stream we were like doing a poll for like, we're like, who's sexier, like Jill or Claire or this or that. But then Gruntilda came into the thrower, right? Which is, I mean, you're feeling it deep in there, man.
Yeah.
Rightly so.
Why did she come into the poll? Because I fucking
Because
recommend.
you fucking did it. You own Gruntilda. You can take ownership
I
over it.
designed it.
I won't mention her around you. Like, you're very jealous, obviously. You're very jealous of Gruntilda.
I
It's like,
am Rare
she's
Games Limited. I made her.
I'm the video game boy. I'm the one who wins.
Video game boy.
It's a fucking Game Grumps reference.
Haven't it, man? You know what, man? I have,
Mhm.
I have a confession. Actually, no, it's not a confession. I don't give a fuck. I've never seen Game Grumps though, but I've heard you talk very passionately and in very good terms of Game Grumps. So I'm gonna have to watch some of their videos.
Yeah, I watched them for the last like 10 years. So
Right, yeah,
the part of that has become like, you might not find it as enjoyable, because I kind of
right.
feel like, with their voices, they're intrinsically in my head. Like, I'll fall asleep watching them. You know what
Oh,
I
right,
mean?
yeah.
They're kind of like my comfort show,
Mm-hmm.
which is great to have. I love that, and
Is
they've done well to kind of constantly, like, you know what I'll do? I'll
mm.
send you like maybe a compilation of some of their funny bits, and you
Yeah,
can see
do
what
please.
you enjoy, because there's a
Mm,
lot of good stuff there.
absolutely. Thank you
And I've
very much.
seen they're actually doing a live show in Dublin.
What?
Yeah, it could be
No
fun to go
way.
to.
Yeah,
Yeah, could
man.
be fun to go
Yeah.
to.
When is that? Do you know? We'll plug the
Um,
gig as if we're somehow related.
yeah, it's for somehow, in case we'd sell a
This
ticket to that.
episode.
But a gig we are going to, as a little break, is we are heading to Grand Theft Audio in
Oh yeah,
Cypress
yeah.
Avenue in Cork on the
We
4th of
are.
March. Will be a
We are
lot of
indeed.
fun. That
Yeah,
looks like
we are
it'll be a
indeed.
cool time. So
Mhm.
again, if you're popping around that, or if you're heading there, I think there's a few tickets still pottering around.
Yeah.
All right, we move on.
Yeah, go for it.
Number 5.
Now, you mentioned, right, that there's a lot of very attractive people in the Resident Evil series. There is a lot of very attractive people, and my decision, like, you know what, man, he is like just one of the. It's the fucking hair flick, it's the coolness, it's
Oh
the
my god,
swagger.
is my intro bang on?
Yeah, man, it's fucking Leon S. Kennedy.
Oh, he's a
He's
baby. Yeah,
just so fucking cool. He's got
he
the
is.
fucking hair. He's just fucking
He's
shit
got
hot, man.
like
He
the
is
one
shit hot.
liners. I do have an issue with how, no, maybe I don't, but if you know the way there's a Resident Evil 4 remake coming out.
Yeah.
If they take away like some of his like cheese, or kind of the
Oh yeah.
macho cheese of him, like,
Hmm.
he'd always be like, "What is it?" At the end of the first mission, he's like, "Where's everyone going? Bingo."
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I
yeah. Love
need
that.
that to be part of
Yeah.
his. That makes him like
It
the
has
attractive
to be.
quality.
Yeah, oh, totally is as well. He's got the fucking cheesy dad jokes down. I love a
Mm-hmm.
good pun. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I like him to pun me in the fucking face.
Oh, I wish he'd stick his pun in my mouth.
It's just Leon. He's fucking cool, man, and yeah, he's a fucking hot character,
Do you know
man.
what blows my mind in that game, and it makes me
Mm.
laugh every time?
What?
There's a scene in that game where oh my god, what is it? Is it Lord Salazar? Is it the little
Sadler?
fella? Is it no, the little guy who
Oh,
has
Salazar.
Salazar? Is it? Is that his
I,
name?
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
and then
little
there's a big
dude.
statue. Yeah, the little dude. And
Yeah.
like, there's a part where you're trying to save Ashley. He's like in a trap door. He doesn't realize it, and your mano pulls the thing, and he falls down the trap hole. And out in fucking nowhere, he whips out his fucking Batmobile belt,
Yeah.
and he fucking does like a fucking wire that like latches on. Do you know that
Yeah.
part? Do you
Yeah,
remember that?
I think I do. I think I do. Yeah.
That part always just makes me laugh. Like, that's Resident Evil to me. I need to
Yeah.
have some like, I
Over the
want it
top
to be a
action.
little bit scary, but I also
Mm.
want it to be like a bit stupid.
Yeah,
It
of
needs to be a
course,
bit.
man.
It
Well,
needs to
'cause it
be
makes
like
it fun.
B movie horror. Yes,
Mm.
yes, fun. Like the
Yeah.
campiness. The
Mm.
campiness. That's the
Yeah.
important part. And I'm scared about the 4 remake. I'll be honest with you.
Are you?
Yeah, there was a
You know-
video showing like how bad the rain is and shit, like how distracting it is. It's not even like in a
Oh,
graphical
really?
sense, just in a complete. I don't know. I'm worried because I hold the game to such high value
I get it. Yeah, yeah.
that I worry a little bit about it, but hopefully it will be good.
Do you know what? For myself, with things that are coming out, some new things that are coming out, I felt what happened to me in the past. Say it was a movie or something, I'd watch the ad 100 million times, and I'd big it up in my head, and I'd get really heavily invested, and I'd hold it in too high regard. Say a movie or a game before I've seen it or I've played it, and then obviously it's very rare for me that it would live up to that. So now for a lot of new things, like I might watch an ad once or twice and then that's it. And then I'll actually
Yeah.
not get, like, I don't want to find out anything about it. I don't want to see a preview of, like, say, for instance, I'm watching The Last of Us TV show, which I think is fucking amazing.
Amazing.
But
Amazing.
I don't want to see a preview of the next episode.
Yeah.
I'd rather
Understood.
just, I don't want to know what happens. I don't know what the
It's also like realistic
critics or
expectations, because
whatever.
if you watch like some highlights of a clip or something, you're going to
Mhm.
think it's all this in your head. And I always think it's almost better to be, I don't mean this in like a whole life frame of mind, but sometimes going into movies and games, expect the worst, hope for the best, because then that way your measurements, because you know,
Mm.
if you're really looking forward to something, think it's going to be amazing and it's only middling, there's nothing, like it's a really shit
Mhm.
feeling. But if you're
Mhm.
going to something you think it's going to be garbage and it actually surprises you a little
Yeah.
bit, like
Oh
it's
yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
nice that way, do you know?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Um,
But
but
that's
yeah,
just
Leanne.
my kind of approach for newer things anyway. So with the Resident Evil 4, to tie it back in with Resident Evil 4, I've seen an ad, I think, and that's it. That's all I know about it. So I don't actually know anything else. But that's just my approach to new
Yeah,
things. You know what I
it's
mean?
just one of those games that, like, for me, really doesn't need a remake. But then again, I know, like, well, no, Resident Evil 4 is on it like a fucking mobile, practically. You can play Resident Evil 4 in your fridge, more or less.
Well, sorry, man. From my thoughts on remakes is, I know people can say something doesn't need a remake, but I think, like, why the fuck not? It's just adding to the if you're a huge fan, in my opinion, is it just adds to the fandom. Like, you know, people remake movies and they'll say the remake ruined the original. And I'm like, well, I personally don't think like that.
I have a little bit of a different opinion on this,
Okay. Yeah.
because the way I look at something like a remake, and I think Harrison Ford put it perfectly recently, they were like, oh, who do you want to play Indy when you stop playing him? It's like, I don't want anyone to fucking play Indy. Make something new up.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I
And I
get it.
think, and I think we live in the age where, like, there's so much of that draw. Like, no movie now can take a risk. There's no cinema coming out anymore that can take risks. Like, if you're not a fucking Marvel Cinematic Universe, or you're not rebooting Spider-Man, or you're not rebooting Batman, or you're not going
Yeah.
through, like, I think is it Michael Keating who played Batman before? Is that his name?
Yeah. Michael Keaton. Yeah.
He's playing Batman again, like, and it's like, I don't know. My thing on it is like, yeah, you could have Resident Evil 4 remake, or could we just have? I feel like
Mario Kart 9.
yes, exactly. Like, fucking hell. Like, how have we gone to a stage where now, like, it's got to be like they'll only release shit that they know is gonna fucking sell
Yeah.
donkeys loads.
Yeah.
We never had that in the PS2 or 360 era even.
Mm.
We didn't have that in previous generations of games.
Mm.
It was only when the PS4 did we really start getting ports from the PS3 on into it. Did we really start? Nintendo is literally only living on it now.
Yeah.
Like, what do we have? Like, and this is like a real rant I have about it. It's like,
Right.
I love, like, the Switch for me is like a great emulator, and that's it. Like, I want to
Mhm.
play the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games, the N64 and the SNES. But
Yeah.
like, for me, the Switch, and like particularly for Nintendo, like, every Switch game is practically a Wii U game. I mean, they're releasing, you know, Skyward Sword, a Wii game from 10 years ago that you can
Mhm.
buy for a tenner, and Wii the exact same thing for more than it cost to buy it back in the day.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, because it's like it's 60 quid
Fuck.
to buy that now in our terms just for a port.
Yeah.
Do you know? It's like, so my thing is like, make a new game. I like,
Yeah.
obviously, if you
I
can
get
do
it. Yeah.
both, it's great. But it's like,
Mhm.
but then I get your thing as well. It's like, isn't it great to
Mm.
be able to, like, I get both sides. I'm not
Yeah,
like,
I'm the same. No, I'm the same, man. I get
mm,
both sides. Like,
mhm.
I have my thoughts on it, but I do not in any way disagree with your side because I think it's a very valid point as well.
Yeah, I
You know?
kind of feel like this type of discussion is like, if you were to just ask me, you know, if they say, okay, you're this side, I'm this side, and this is how I would argue my point. It's not
Mm.
necessarily that I completely wholeheartedly believe from a feeling point of view, but I think from an objective point of view, there's a lot of merit in the
Mhm.
fact that things get reused,
Yeah.
recycled, and
Yeah.
rehashed. Like, we're never probably in our lives going to have a new superhero character. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like, you know, like a big one, like, you know, we've been living on Spider-Man and Batman for the last
Oh
100
yeah.
fucking years. Do you know what I mean? Like, it
Like
just,
a
there's things
totally new superhero that hasn't
like
existed yet.
kind of like, I'm sure there is, but like, you know, if you're actual following comics and they get brought in or whatever, but it
Of
just
course.
kind of feels like we're afraid to make anything new
Yeah.
because in case it doesn't fucking
Uh,
succeed.
to be honest, man, now that like putting it like that is making me think about it a little bit more, and I totally agree with you. Yeah, see, I haven't really thought that much into it. I always just had the thought of I was very one sided, or my thought always went to look, I don't care. You know, it's just adding to the fandom. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Watch the original or play the original. Don't fucking whatever it is. But to be honest, you make a very, very good point. Is people aren't taking risks anymore. They're banking on, well, that was great, so let's do what they did because that was brilliant. And here now, man, this is one thing that you've got me thinking about our podcast, right? Because, and I'm
It's an
not
actual
trying to fucking,
podcast.
What?
It's a retro
It
podcast.
is a retro podcast. It's a retro video game podcast, but we trying to do our own things and be as original as possible
Mm-hmm.
with stuff and episode like the episode ideas we have, man, are like
Crazy.
because when I think of certain episode ideas, right, we have nearly 60 episode ideas. I will literally look up and see has anyone done that before. And there's loads, man, that I can't find the title of
Now,
that
obviously,
I
this
have.
topic will have a lot on it, but
Of
like,
course, man. Yeah, of course. But
I
I
suppose,
think there's certain things that sorry you can like slightly pushing it a little bit, but that's what I like, man. That's what I
mm,
fucking like about it. It doesn't
yeah,
have
yeah.
to be.
Oh man, look, you'll be dead at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of my answer to most things. I have this thing that I call a positive existential crisis, right?
Right.
Where it's like, you know, most people have like an existential crisis and say, oh my God, like there's no point in anything. Why bother? I
Mm.
have this kind of thing where it's like, sure, there's no point in anything. Fucking do what you fucking think is a merit to yourself and a merit
Yeah.
to others. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I kind of have this like, where it's like, sure, fuck it. Like, I mean, obviously there could be a lot of point to a lot of things. I'm not saying this in a way, but I look where someone sees something, it's like, oh, what's the point? I might as well not do anything. I'm like, should we have free reign to fucking do whatever we want? So,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In a positive mainframe,
Of
like
course,
obviously
of course.
always in terms of, you know, bringing people up and being respectful. But
Yeah.
like in that sense, when you're creating something, now it's different for us. Obviously, look, we don't have anything to lose as such, right?
Yes.
Because we're not like saying like, oh, we did our last podcast made, like, we don't make any money.
Mm.
You know, like it's not like we say like our last podcast made $5,000 on this idea. Do we need to keep this idea going to make the money? Like, I understand that changes a lot. Do you know? And I think when it comes into bringing in a business factor or money element into it, all of a sudden it can really crush your creativity more, because it's like all of a sudden things have to match what people are wanting. And I guess that's what happens with movies and games. And companies like, well, we'll produce this, but it's got to be an idea we know is going to bang the buck, because we don't want to fucking put in 10 million to something that's not going to work. But as things become more and more expensive, games cost hundreds of times more than they did 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Literally, like we're talking like video games makes more money than movies, sports, and everything combined. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it takes a lot longer to make a game than a movie in general. I don't know, they're just all thoughts that kind of run into my head with it. And I think we're between a rock and a hard place in terms of creativity. And I think that's then as well also why we look back, and we also try and that's why we're always looking to retro, because sometimes we're like bored of the same monotonous shit too, and we go back to where times were creative, where games were taking risks. If you look at the PS2 catalog, man, there's risk after risk, there's new IP after new IP. And some of them don't all stick to landing, but some of them, you know, when you go back to those games, you're like, this game is fucking weird.
Yeah.
In like a really good, you're like, this is a really weird game. I can't remember that ever happening.
Yeah.
Like in the last, you know.
Totally.
Obviously, this is like a podcast outside of a podcast that could be an episode in of itself.
See, this is the thing, man. This is what I
It's
like.
the rant.
This is the podcast. This is how it goes. But also, I have to say, like, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with fucking doing a lot of the same things. You know what I mean? Like, we have a fucking Ocarina of Time episode, like one of the most talked about video games of all time. I'm just trying to say that we try to be as creative as possible, man.
I think what you're trying to say is we're trying to be as authentic to ourselves doing what we're doing as we can. I think like that's probably the key word for me. And that like when you're creating something, you want to be authentic. In other words, that like you do what we're interested in talking about, not what we think other people will think is interesting to talk about.
That's what we were talking about during the Mary Majora episode when we were talking about streaming. If I was to be a streamer, I wouldn't stream Fortnite because that's what I think everyone wants to stream. I'd stream whatever game I wanted, and we talk about whatever subject we want, not something we think is going to
and it just so happens this week we're talking about, you know, imaginary video game characters we want to boink. You know?
What number are we even on? Shit,
I just said Gruntilde. I'm doing my 5. You said your 5, so I'm doing my 5.
Leon, so
do you know what's funny?
Go on.
My 5 is also a daddy.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, here we go. It was the battle of the battles, right? It's not retro, so you can fuck off. So it was between Joel and Arthur Morgan from Red Dead 2, right? They were two daddies, one cowboy, one burly burls. But after seeing Pedro Pascal in the show, he's the ultimate daddy. He's so funny. He's so funny. Cool. He's so charming. And maybe that's not cool. Joel, because that's not Joel. But it's Joel, man. It's, you know, it's Last of Us. It's the best retro video game. That's a retro video game that has ever been a retro video game. It's, oh my God, pushing 11 years. So long in the making, and so much that they're actually only making a TV show out of it 10 years later. Characters who were 30 playing the characters now are like, you know, nearly dead. They're 40. But
Hey, I'm
Joel,
36 next week. Fuck off.
you're pushing up daisies, mate. But no, Joel, man, like particularly because I like I'll be very careful not to talk about spoilers with everything going on, but
Right.
particularly his character arc, I think, is important how it loops, and I think he's not a good man in terms of the good versus evil good man, but I don't think there's such thing as good and evil, and that's what I love about Joel as a character.
Mm.
The character really personifies the fact that there is no such thing as good and evil. There's just the context of where we are and what you have to do to potentially survive.
Mm.
And you know, one person's enemy is another person's hero.
Mm.
And I think it's that gray area that you live in. And I think his character is so interesting for that and how he navigates it. And he's just a
Yeah.
daddy, you know, he's
He
just
is.
a daddy.
Yeah, he actually is. Now that I think about it, Joel is he's a fucking handsome bastard, isn't he?
Oh, he's an awful fucking, like, you'd look at
Like
yourself and you'd say,
the
I
fuck out of you
wait.
with a guitar
Yeah,
or something, wouldn't you?
exactly. It's like, yeah, like I'd love to just spread my legs behind my ears and him to smash a guitar between my bollocks. Do you know what I mean? That's my favorite thing I've ever said.
Right, so number 4.
Will I do the thingy? I might as well, since it's probably going to be edited in. But you do it. Come on, man. Where's your echo, man? Huh? Hit your echo button, boy.
Oh yeah, shit. I have to update. I have to
Number 4. All right, you say it now. Go
Now-
number 4.
Number 4.
You actually
Right.
do a far better job than me. Whatever.
Oh no, it's not better. It's just different, man. Just different.
Yeah, whatever. Like, yeah, that's what you say to like a child who like fucking came last in the egg and spoon race. It's like, you're not worse. You're just different.
My number 4 is my one and only Final Fantasy character. Oh yeah, did we say we could only pick one character per franchise?
Yes.
Sorry, right. So there was a few. Obviously, Final Fantasy has some extremely attractive people in it, but mine is from Final Fantasy 12, and it's Fran from Final Fantasy 12. Now, if you can't imagine Fran from Final Fantasy 12,
I'll have to have a look.
just having a googly woogly there. Fran is like a tall, blonde rabbit thing.
Oh,
Looks like they're
baby.
wearing lingerie.
Dude.
Shoots a bow and arrow.
No, dude, this. Okay, I need you. Are you on your computer?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Look up Mirko, Mirko from My Hero. Just go Mirko My Hero, because that's my biggest anime crush, and she looks just like this one. 10% furry all the way, man. You know what I mean?
Mirko, My Hero. Oh yeah.
Got the thigh highs, got the rabbit kind of vibe about it, kind of that sassy. Oh my god, like I have to go home now and fucking just wank myself dry. This is ridiculous.
The big fucking rabbit legs, they kick in the balls.
Exactly, man. That's what I'm all about, dude. No, that
Joel kicking the fuck out of you.
Oh, at the same time, just smashing me with a guitar while she keeps lacing me in the testes. Imagine just being beaten up by every character on my list and be like, yes. Like Chun-Li keeps doing that kick, like, like right into me. Joel smashing guitars over me. There's something about like lingerie rabbit people, though, you know.
Yeah, man, they just fucking get me.
They just
So yeah, if you don't know who Fran is from Final Fantasy 12, have a little Google there, and yeah, that's
have an old Google there, and whatever may happen, may happen. My number 4, man, is this was tough. It was between two Nintendo Mario characters. It was between Paulina and Daisy. Okay, but I think I went with a specific Daisy. Okay,
right.
It's Daisy, but from Mario Kart, wearing her biker gear. So it really, you know, that full-on biker yellow outfit with Daisy, and it seals in all the flavor.
Seals. Yeah.
So there's a part where you're playing Mario Kart. I'm not joking. I'm always a shy guy. And there's a person in our chat who always plays Daisy.
Yeah.
And she's on a bike, and she keeps her ass keeps gyrating up and down in front of me before we go. And I'll never pass out Daisy because sure, I always have I will never come first when Daisy's playing because I'll always be watching that arse goad, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, seriously, that full on leather sealing in the sweaty flavor. Do you know what I mean? Tastes a bit nutty, but it fucking it goes down a treat.
Oh, fucking hell.
If you want to go Daisy bike outfit, you know, if you want to have a look just to get a little thing, I wouldn't stop you. I'm actually just gonna have a look myself there just for educational purposes. Just a bit of research. Daisy
Daisy
bike.
bike outfit.
Yeah, let me just have a look here.
See if I can really get the image into my head. See, this
Well,
is like this is a bit of an Incredibles moment. Like,
yeah, like I mean, there's a hilarious the fan art, man. Oh god. Anyway, sorry. Yeah. Number 3. Actually, I want you to do number 3. I don't want to do them all. It's funner if we both do them.
okay. Number 3 is Samus Aran.
Yeah. You know. Yeah.
The fucking, what's it called? The Zero suit? Is that what it's called?
Yeah. Fucking more like no suit Samus. Let's go.
Yeah, right there.
Dude, anything that's like you know what my thing is? I think I'm really into, like, I prefer for them to be in their leotards or their skin tight suits than without them. I'm more into the lingerie effect of this.
Yeah,
I like a bit of mystery. Do you know what I mean?
Get it?
I like a bit of mystery, and I what I'm realizing about my list is my outfit is a lot to say about what I'm into right now.
Oh
You
yeah.
know? Yeah, I can see a light flashing before your eyes there, like you're googling something sexy.
Oh no, I'm only joking.
Yeah.
I'm actually just googling.
And googling how do you get rid of an erection.
Oh, I get it, man. I get it. Yeah, man. No, I get it. It adds a bit of mystery to it.
I just can't stop laughing at the whole flash coming up in your eyes, like intently looking at something. Just to explain, we obviously have, we're looking at each other in a camera, and every so often I see Nisha's attention veering away, like where he's not looking at me anymore, and then all of a sudden a giant flash of light beams on his head, and he's just not listening anymore. He's in the middle of something else.
It's I'm googling characters to get the image in my head, man. We can have a better conversation.
Oh, I think this is a better conversation.
True. Well, that's my number 3.
I actually forgot, what was it?
Samus Aran.
Sorry,
Zero suit. Or
sorry, sometimes I'm coming up with funny things to say so much that I forget about the actual topic we're trying to talk about.
Number 3, Keith. Number 3.
Okay, it's a Devil May Cry character.
Like, look, this person's screen's gonna go bright white now because I don't know.
It's so funny because it's just like a signifier that horn has been turned on. It's like boo, hoo, hoo. I feel like there's just loads of lights and sounds attached to your computer every time you Google something naughty. Hoo, hoo. So
3.
it's Lady from Devil May Cry.
Right.
So Lady Devil May Cry. She's steal a soul for a second. Devil May Cry, right? You get that on in there. She actually has a nude scene in Devil May Cry 5. She's kind of got that. Is it called like a pixie haircut? Is that what you call it?
Yeah, I'd call that a pixie haircut. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's got that like sass look to it. I mean, if you're looking through Google Images, there's one where she's just like rocking a towel. Again, she's got the cool outfit. I like the shorts. I like the badass females. I like a girl who can kick my ass, at least in the fantasy setting. That's another thing as well. I think that's interesting. If you're going into the psychology of some of this stuff, how like in some cases you're like, when it comes to like video games or something, it's like a different realm. So it's a different realm you're fantasizing in. So it's always interesting how you're like mind changes from real life scenarios.
Cool.
But yeah,
haircut. I like the haircut.
So basically her story was like, very quickly, is that like in Devil May Cry 3, she comes in, she's riding in a bike, and she's like, my father, who is trying to get the sword of Sparta, but also, spoiler warning in case you haven't played Devil May Cry 3, just going to give you 3, 2, 1. Her father killed her mother, and then it was this whole fucking thing, and she's getting to the top tower with Dante, and Dante and her kind of have little moments, a little like, what's kind of going on here? And she just has kind of like a good back sad story, but she's also a badass, and she wears like a cool outfit, and she can keep up with the best of them, and she's a rocket launcher, and she's a motorcycle. Nice. And when you have a rocket launcher and a motorcycle, I think it adds a point. Man.
Yeah, you're winning. Absolutely. Rocket launcher and a motorcycle is a win.
I have a bit of an old rocket launcher myself, mate. Dude, This is the most schoolyard conversation I've ever had in my life. I love it.
It's brilliant, isn't it? I actually feel like I'm fucking a kid again, just
Yeah,
talking such
giggling.
absolute shite, but it's
Yeah.
great. It's funny, like, and it's fun.
I love that. Then we had like a real serious conversation for like 5 minutes about like media repeating
Oh,
itself,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
it's like back on into the horn zone.
Oh, brilliant. Right. My number 2 is
Wait, you have to say number 2.
number 2. I'm not
No,
joking.
Nisha, sometimes you just, you just fall off the wagon and you need to get back on it,
Number 2 is, the big fish dude from Breath and Wild? The big sexy fucking prince.
Oh, the guy who goes, ting! He's got the little winky.
Yeah.
Zor, fucking. Oh, yeah, he's got a smile for days.
Yeah.
He's got lust for lust.
He's fucking
And
red hot.
Zar, oh my god. Sidon. Prince
Sidon.
Sidon. Is
Mm.
that him? Yeah,
Yeah.
he's, I mean, like, would you fuck a fish? That's the real question, though. Like, how far do you go down
Have
the
you
road to
watched The
that?
Boys?
I have watched The Boys.
Yeah.
He goes full on octopus
He
on
goes
in there.
deep,
He
man.
goes full on octopus, eh?
Oh, Jesus Christ. What has become of
I
us?
never knew you were such a prude, buddy.
Oh, fucking hell. This
Press
is
A
the
button to
kind of
continue.
thing.
Does not take itself seriously or will take anything seriously. We do not believe anything we're saying. We're held at gunpoint. We don't believe anything we've just said. Please turn off the podcast now and rate it 5 stars and come back next week. Something like that. I don't know.
I can't believe the episodes that I asked people to rate 5 stars of talking about fancying a fish.
Talking about, yeah, pretty much, man. It's good. Anyway,
Your number 2.
my number 2. Oh, yeah, shit. Sorry. So I had Zelda, the
Right.
Great Fairy, or Bosa,
Oh,
or Midna.
The Great
Right.
Fairy. No, fuck that. No, the Great Fairy's number 2.
The Great Fairy, you think I have to?
out. Great
just-
Fairy's number 2. Sorry, I'm sorry.
You can't like fucking hell.
No, it's mine. No, fuck it.
Fucking between Gruntilda and fucking the fairy fountain. Now look, it's questionable, right? You're a kid, right?
Yeah.
And here's the problem with the Great Fairy, okay?
Yeah.
You hear like like, how the fuck can I think of the fucking melody of Great Fairy in my head? Hang on now, shut your mouth. And then she goes,
Fucking
come on
hell,
in.
that was good, man. That
And then
was
you come-
good.
thanks,
Fair play to you, man.
and then you come on in, and it's like, oh my god! And your parents are literally, you're in a CRT next to you, and your parents are, and you're like, this is sorry, you're like kind of
Yeah,
freaking out,
yeah.
thinking like you're watching a sex scene.
Yeah.
And a bit of in the N64 days, a bit of a butter face, a bit of a butter face. Do you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
Like anything but the face, you know what I mean? Like a little bit of that action. There was some questionable.
You want to
some
put
question-
butter on her face?
Exactly, yeah. It's anything but the face, you know what I mean? Butterface, yeah. Like, I mean, but then again, I thought about it and I got used to it, do you know? And I think right now I'm like, when I think about it's just N64 graphics sometimes, they didn't work out always the way you wanted, but she didn't. She was floating in the sky wearing literally nothing.
Yeah.
So that's a plus. If a girl can float above you, stark naked, floating around the place, I think that's
You have to.
that's an experience that you're not going to get everywhere.
No.
Now, look, I did have Midna was there, but you forced me to pick Great Fairy, so I went along with
That's
it.
fine. I took it. I'm only messing.
Oh my god! Look, Midna at the end of Twilight Princess is something to behold.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. No, you're fucking dead right, man.
Can we do number 1 together?
Are we both gonna? Oh, we're gonna do the
I'll
number
say-
1 together.
Yeah, I'll say 3, 2, 1, and we do it.
Right.
3, 2, 1.
Number 1. My number 1, man, right, is the fucking sexiest fucking character ever, and it is none other than sexy Gruntilda from Banjo-Kazooie.
Oh,
Like,
baby,
man,
you're bringing
who'da
it.
thunk
Go on.
Who'd have thunk it? An N64 game She's
would have thunked
fucking
it? Who
green,
would have
man.
funked it? I mean, I don't even
Fucking
want her in a better
rich.
graphic system. I want her looking like she looks in that N64 game. I want her looking a bit like you don't know what's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Congratulations, Rare. You fucking beautiful company. You made a fantastic fucking.
There's two of them on your list as well. That's
Oh
like,
yeah. Fucking hell, man. Yeah, I remember playing through. It was actually when you started playing through Banjo Kazooie on your stream. I started playing it again, and I'd totally forgotten about it when Banjo Kazooie dies or whatever, or the game over screen or whatever. And then Gruntilda steals Tootie's fucking youth or something, and she's like, "Oh Jesus Christ!
Jesus Christ! You can steal my youth any day. You can you can suck it out of me. Take me youth."
That's it.
Oh,
That's it.
oh. We just turned into cavemans by the end of it. Like, oh.
Yeah, that's basically.
I like.
Fucking Neanderthals too.
Oh yeah, poking with the sticks like, oh, sexy.
That's my number one, man. That's my number one.
Well, my number one's gonna blow your number one out of the water.
Oh,
because my number one is Cortana.
Oh, from Halo, the fucking hologram.
You can hold her in her hand. She's blue. She's sexy. And if we're talking about Cortana, and Nisha, I need you to Google this specifically because they purposely way over hotted her up in Halo 4. So type in Halo 4 Cortana. Oh my God. Like just type in Halo 4 Cortana and you're going to fucking, and then do images. And oh my God, it's not going to pop up properly. I'm going to have to fucking send you the link. Okay, hang on. No, I'll send it to you here. Just give me 1 second because I want to make sure you're looking at the right one. So I'm sending it in the messages here.
You're sending it to my phone?
No, in the Zencaster. You see there's a chat box next to the thingy.
Oh yeah, if only I knew how to podcast. That's what I was. Oh yes. Oh yes, indeed.
So Cortana, Halo 4.
Mm-hmm.
She's just rocking it out there. She's just tatting it out, you know?
Oh man, I can see there's an image on the top left of that link you just sent me, and it shows fucking Cortana from Halo 2, 3, 4, and the difference. Yeah.
Now in Halo 5, she went back to wearing clothes, but Halo 4, if you want a good time rocking and rolling with a bit of that's me climaxing. That's how I make it every time, man. Cortana is big. I think Jen Taylor voices her. Big props to Jen Taylor. She just has a great voice for it. A sexy voice. I think voice is important sometimes. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like Joel's voice really adds to it. Shadow the Hedgehog. I mean, he wouldn't even pitch your tent without his deep, dark, grungy voice. Do you know what I mean?
Man.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. That's
a good one. We just got to the end of the
Yeah,
that's the one. And that is, I guess, our top 10.
Yeah.
Sexy, creamy, dreamy video game crushes.
Yeah.
Will we go and have a look at some of the audiences? Will we breeze through a couple of them?
Yes, absolutely.
Do you want me to go first while you're rocking and rolling?
Yeah, go for it. I'm going to get the list.
Okay, so I got some good ones, and I think, it really just goes to how depraved everyone gets pretty quickly in this. So Mary said from last week, our beautiful guest, said, don't you dare judge me for this. But Crash Bandicoot is the one I remember for video game crushes. And she sent a picture. Well, there's a picture of Crash with the eyebrows going up and down as well. So Mary is Crash Bandicoot, video game crush. I mean, look, he's silly. He's out there. He's rock and rolling. He's saving the world. I got from Mike, Naomi from Trauma Team. I think that might be Trauma Team Center from it's like a hospital game, I think maybe.
Okay.
We got on in here. Teapot says it's got to be Connor from Detroit Become Human. He's the sweetest of android bios.
Oh.
Have you played Detroit Become Human?
I haven't.
Would recommend.
Let me have a quick Google so I can. Yeah, I have. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And he actually has his own YouTube channel with his wife where they do Let's Plays.
What?
Yeah. That's like his likeness is identical to the character. Like he did the full thing.
No way. Really?
Mm-hmm. Queen Bee says, or Ralph from the same game, Detroit Become Human again. Delta Sapphire says, okay, so Claire from Pokemon, Rosalina, Tess from The Last of Us, which was a good one actually. Tess is great. Zelda, Jill Valentine, Shiva from Resident Evil. All of them sincerely just crush my forehead, honestly.
Love it. Great choices.
Volka said Claire from Resident Evil, Sabrina from Pokemon, Jury from Street Fighter, Lilith Borderlands. I think it's Takai from Soul Calibur.
Mm.
And he said, I mean, we might as well delve into the men because some of them can get it. Respectfully, Chris Redfield, Geralt. Disrespectfully, Dante, Devil May Cry. Sephiroth. And I agree with T. Connor because he's precious. Narrows down from my massive list. Jury and Geralt would be the top two there. I'm getting near the end now. Alexa says, my video game crush when I was younger is and honestly still now, is Kovu from The Lion King. I'm a bit of a furry, okay? We all, a little bit of a furry, as Keith says. I remember watching The Lion King and repeat specific scenes just so I can see Kovu. Mary, by the way, has the same crush, which is hilarious.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, it was never... it was a never-ending thing. I used to role play my toys and pretend like it's Lion King. Feel free to laugh at me. And I said, no, I love it, man. I was just responding saying, I cringe. I think it was my brother and my mum who caught me role-playing Lion King as a kid. I don't remember what I felt in the moment, but damn, it was hell embarrassing when they told me about it years later. Queen Bee said, Ralph, Rosalina, Sans, Girahim, Midnaz. Ropeblade said Zelda, Midna, Tifa, Aerith, Yuffie, Rhinoa. Final Fantasy 8 characters here. A lot of Final Fantasy characters in here. Taco said Yuna, Raikou, and or Zelda. Miss Hatzer said, I had a massive hard-on for Chris Redfield, but I refused to play the Resi games. So I think because she was just so young. Do you know what I mean? She was too scared of them or whatever. So when my brother said he'd be playing it, I had front row seats. Chris Redfield made a few in there.
Yeah.
What about your ones?
Right, so I had fucking millions of them, and loads, right? So Chris Zanfan sent me some of his there, right? And there's some pretty good ones, and one that I never thought was going to be on the list, right? So I'm gonna read out his message that he sent me. So my biggest video game crush was Ryo Hazuki from the Shenmue series. My friend had the original Dreamcast version, and it had plenty of ass in jeans shots. I wouldn't even play it half the time, just walk around.
Taking in the sights, man. Taking in the sights.
And then he said Cole McGrath from Infamous.
Oh yeah.
And here's the fucking the curveball, right? And he sent me a picture. It's Wario, from
baby,
from the original Wario Land on Virtual Boy, and man, Wario was fucking jacked in that game. He said,
"Oh baby, he's got the muscles, like
fucking big guns on him and all."
I like it. You need that, you know what I mean? You sometimes you want a bit of that hard loving.
Yeah, right. So these are from Instagram. So Alexandra said, "Ocarina of Time, Adult Link, 100% my sexual awakening."
I love it.
Joan Piju said, Cortana. Casey Lynch from Guitar Hero, Malin from Ocarina of Time, Bayonetta, Lulu from Final Fantasy X, Princess Peach, and
Cortana
Lulu
brothers
from Final Fantasy X. Do you remember her?
Cortana. No. Oh, I do. She was she looked like the man, but the girl version of it, right?
What?
Do you, like, as in she looked like the guy from 10, kind of, but she was like kind of more of she was like the female version. Did she have that surfer look to her?
No.
Did she have the kind of yellow?
No. That was Riku. That was Riku.
Oh, okay.
Riku and
sorry.
Titus you're talking about. No, she was the witch. She had like dark hair, like all leather gear.
But I mean, leather I'm into. But also a Cortana brother, so that's good.
Yeah, there you go. Lord Barbosa said both Ivy and Maxi from Soul Calibur.
Yes, they literally wear like they have a loincloth over their they just have a singular loincloth for both characters, and they like to spread their legs, so it's a bit of a beach volleyball scenario when it comes to Soul Calibur, you know what I mean? The combat's really secondary to you just staring at what's happening. It's funny how some of these games are so hypersexualized.
Yeah.
Like it's so funny, isn't it?
Crazy, yeah. It's crazy.
Such a naughties thing as well. It's so far less done, do you know what I mean? Because it's like, oh, we better this poor character.
Yeah. But
freezing.
No, I think it's still done. I think it's still done.
Well, anime is fucking tripled down on it.
Yeah. Here we go, right? Jack the Basic said, growing up, it was definitely Cynthia from Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. Have you played either of those games?
I haven't played Diamond or Pearl. I've played a lot of Pokemon games, but not Diamond Pearl. I think a lot of people's favorites are Diamond and Pearl.
Oh, yeah? What do you know what console that was on?
DS.
Oh, yeah? Jeez, the DS was some fucking system, man. You know, you got me intrigued by the Game Boy Advance. You really have.
You have
You
to.
really have.
You have the Switch now.
Yeah.
And also, there's a Pokemon announcement soon, and the rumor is that they'll have Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow on it, and it will be online trading and online battling.
Oh my god, man, that just sounds incredible, doesn't it?
And I just died at my Nuzlocke playing Leaf Green today at Misty.
Yeah. Is Leaf Green like a remake of?
It's the Game Boy Advance version of Red and Blue. It's the exact same game. It's just slightly better looking.
Nice.
So it's the one. It's the one to play if you have a choice.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think that sounds like the one to go for. Right. So Daniel Hickey said Tifa, Aerith, the chick from Ninja Gaiden, and Aloy. I don't know the chick.
Aloy Horizon, yeah.
Right.
The PlayStation character, yeah.
Ginger B said Kerrigan. Do you know who Kerrigan is?
Not off the top of my head, no. Is that the only one by him?
Yeah, that's Gingy said Kerrigan. So we're going to have to look up whoever Kerrigan is.
Okay.
Cahill said, please say someone said Miss Pac-Man. And then
Oh my
he sent me
God.
like a picture of like an advertisement for Miss Pac-Man back in the day.
That's funny. Who was that by again?
Cahill.
That's funny because someone was saying that in chat today, and I wonder, was it? It must have been the same.
Yeah.
Must have been the same person.
Brilliant.
And I had to write a song about Miss Pac-Man today
Are
on
you
live
serious?
stream. Yeah.
I'll have to
About Miss Pac-Man chomping on her balls or something.
Oh yeah. Jesse said Geralt. Look at
Yeah,
Geralt,
look,
like,
he's
that bad team, man. Fucking.
I mean, if you had Geralt, Joel, and Arthur Morgan in a 3-way, like, I mean, I think you're pretty much, or 4-way, I suppose, you're sorted for a while, you know.
Fucking yeah, absolutely. What's his name? Henry Cavill as well. Just
yeah. Well, I mean, if you're talking about the TV show, I prefer video game Geralt myself, but it's fair. He's a handsome dude.
Be Kind Rewind Retro said Jill Valentine and Laura Croft. Hold on a second. Is it Laura or Lara Croft?
Lara.
Lara. I always thought
Lara.
Lara Croft.
I thought it was Laura for the longest time, but it's Lara.
Man, I have to find this message. Ben from Laser Steak said, I don't know if I have to cut this out. He said, right, here we fucking go. I can finally show you how much of a pervert I am.
Here, we just spent 2 hours of showing how much of a pervert we are, so it's all good.
I have to find the fucking the message that he sent of who his favorites. I'm just gonna say this just in case, right? So Ben from Laserstick said Chun-Li, Cammy, game and movie. There we go. We're going for the movie. Kylie Minogue, Quiztis from Final Fantasy VIII, Lara Croft, Bayonetta, Jill Valentine,
Bayonetta's a good one.
Soul Calibur, Anna Williams, Tekken 2.
Fine list.
This list goes on. Sonya Blade, Katana. It's endless, really. Basically, any female character in the game I played between the ages of 8 and 14.
I'm very clear. I think
best fucking response ever.
I think it's more basically 8 till now, to be honest, by the sounds of that list.
Right, so sorry, we have a couple more left.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna fuck this name up. Sorry, Naimir said Ada Wong from the Resident Evil series. And
Ooh.
then Steve, one of my friends said, "Your ma."
She's the best video game crush of all time.
He was like, I don't know if you saw that message. He texted me separately, but I said your man. He said, and then he said, but really the boss from Metal Gear Solid 3 and obviously Chun-Li. Do you remember
Chun-Li seems to be like an overall like Thick Thighs, Save Lives, like Melon Crusher, like, you know, Thigh Highs, like seems to be a general theme.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's,
or else I'm projecting.
There was a couple of messages. Sorry, but that was the list. So who comes out on top? Do you think?
I feel like Chun-Li might have been mentioned the most, or Geralt. Wait, I didn't hear the no pun intended, and then I heard it.
Oh, what is it? So who comes out on top? Do you think?
I was taking it so serious. I feel like Geralt was said a lot. I feel like Chun-Li was said a lot.
Cortana was said a lot.
Cortana was said one other time, I think, outside me. And then Zelda was said a good few times. Yeah, I said Cortana was said a lot. Yeah, no, it wasn't. Oh fuck,
Fucking
dude.
hell.
Oh my god. And I guess is that everyone's responses?
Yeah, that was
That was definitely like we blast through them like there was a
yeah,
fucking that was our it's so funny that like the thing that people bit onto the most from our audience was your top 10 video game crushes. Like that
yeah,
was like,
yeah.
and obviously
That
look,
was
I think is a
hilarious.
question for the people who haven't answered can leave their top video game crushes in the poll maybe or in
Yeah,
the question would
yeah.
make sense, right?
Mm.
And then what was our poll?
Our poll is: are me and Keith going to hell or heaven after this episode? And yeah, question: who's your video game? Who's your video game crush?
All right.
Yeah, man, I quite like that. That's the most I've giggled and laughed, and you know what
Oh,
I
it's
mean.
because we always felt we're like, oh, we're bordering on
Yeah.
so naughty.
But look at
Uh,
this is an 18s plus podcast. We're in the what's it called?
this is actually a 21s plus
Oh,
podcast.
is it? Yeah.
Yeah, it is now. I've up to 3 years.
Oh, right. What did we say? What did we change the podcast category to? Is
What was it? It was fucking erotic fiction.
not the category. Sorry, it's for mature audiences only. So
Well, it's too late because they're fucking finding this out at the end of the episode. You should have said that at the start, for fuck's sake.
it's
There's,
oh, it's
there's
up
some
there.
there's
It's
some
up there for
10-year-old
safe,
who's like
man.
shaking after listening to it and hearing it at the end. The P.S. This was for a mature audience. There's some like, Mummy, I've just listened to an interesting podcast. I thought it was on the history of England, but turns out it was about these two Irishmen talking about these fictional characters in their computer screens that they wanted to do terrible things to.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Nisha, where can everyone? Yeah, people know where to
I'm
find
not
us,
telling
really.
them after that episode. Come for me, man. Who do you
Okay.
think are sexy going to tell the number one?
I'm going to. Can you just? I'm going to do just a little bit of singing, and if you can just, you don't need to sing yourself. You just need to do an outro. Do you think you can manage? Do you think what's going to come out of your mind?
Yeah. So that was our top 10 video game crushes from growing up playing video games to today. Who do we have a little innocent crush on? Who do we want to bend
Innocent.
over? Hold on, I'm getting there. Hold on, Julia, keep singing. Who did we have? Some of them were a little innocent crushes. Some of them we wanted to fucking right into next week. Please don't cancel us for this podcast.
Hey, fucking try and cancel us. We haven't even become famous yet, you fucking scuts. Fucking good luck cancelling something that doesn't fucking even be a thing, you
Hold on, we
gobblers.
fucking are a thing. Hold on.
You better fucking rate this 5 stars, I tell you that for now.